Alright, moment of truth, guys.
In this video, I'll show you how to replace your bearings on the new KastKing Spartacus bait casting reel with the Spool Hi-Speed Bearing Kit. In addition, I'll let you know what are my thoughts of the upgrade so that you can see whether the upgrade is worth it or not. With that said, let's do this. So now before I get started here, the first thing I want to do is do a spin test on the spool, and in order to do that, I need to spool up my reel with some line. I want to be able to cast the lure before and afterwards so that I could do a complete testing. So I want to make sure the reel is in the same condition in all my testing. So I am spooling up this reel with KastPro from KastKing. This is braided line rated for 20 pounds, and it is made in the US of A. And the braided line comes in the bio spool, which is a biodegradable spool. The braid is made with Spectra fiber material from Honeywell, and the fade resistance on this line is incredible. That is because when the fibers are put together, that's when the dye is added in. And they just released new colors for them: black, pink, and yellow. You guys can check them out on Amazon via the link within my description. Anyway guys, here is the first spin of the Spartacus right after the line is added. As you can see, spinning only lasts for about 7 seconds. Let's take this reel out for some casting. So I am pretty impressed with this $50 reel. I was able to cast a pretty good distance, as you can see in here. I hit the pads right across from me, and I think it wasn't too bad. So let's replace these bearings and see how it goes. So here we are, the Spool Hi-Speed Bearing Kit for KastKing. This kit here comes with 3 bearings, and it will fit the Spartacus, Royale, Stealth, and Assassin. These are all stainless steel ceramic hybrid bearings. These bearings are similar to the Boca Bearing Apex 7s, very similar to the ones I have replaced for another reel. You guys can check that out on my other vlog on my top right hand corner here. This kit here sells for $27.95, not including shipping. Let's see if it's going to be worth the value. It is certainly cheaper than the Boca Bearing kit. They come dry and unshielded, but it does have the seals within the bag itself. You can easily pop them in, which I am doing because I always seem to dunk my reel in the water by accident while kayak fishing. Lastly, it comes with this high quality sticker. It's weatherproof. You can slap it onto your car, your boat, your kayak, or whatever you want, because hey, who doesn't love stickers? So the 3 places that you'll be replacing the bearings are the side plate, the spool, and the tension knob. Let me show you how to replace these. The first one is the side plate, which is supported by a hexagon spring washer. You can use a pin, a razor blade, a tweezer, or any combination to remove it, as long as you be careful, because this is a spring loaded clip and it may fly out and you may never find it again. This actually happened to me once before. From lessons learned, I like to put my thumb over the pin as I try to pry and pull it out with the tweezers. Once removed, you can try to use a wooden chopstick to see if you wedge your chopstick into the bearing and yank it out. As you can see, this came out very easily. If it doesn't work, you may have to use some other materials to try to get it out. For instance, I use a paper clip and I bent it like so, and I'm able to pry out most of my bearings for my other reels. Installing the bearing here is very easy, as you just reverse your steps. You just put the new bearing in there, pop in the pin, and you are all set. Onto the spool itself. There is a pin, as shown here, that is wedged into the center of the spool, and it is securing the stock bearing. I use the official Boca Bearing Pliers to remove this. Simple as that. I may make a video about this plier versus another cheaper alternative tool, and if that ever happens, that'll be on the top right hand corner. To use this tool, you first need to inspect your spool. Some spools, such as the Spartacus, one side of the pin is wider than the other. This allows you to wedge the pin and secure it in place. So you will need to identify which side of the pin is the thinner side, because you will need to align the pliers pin to the thinner side and then push the pin through. Make sure you align it properly so you do not bend your pin. Once you have pushed the pin through, you may still need your pliers to pull the pin out. I just use the Boca pliers and pull the pin out. Remove the bearing and place the new one in and put the pin back into the spool. Using the groove side of the Boca Bearing Pliers, align the pin in the hole and push the pin through. Careful and make sure that it is aligned properly so you do not bend your pin. The pin should be inserted evenly. The last bearing is at the tension knob, but let's not replace this one yet. I just did a spool test and I have not touched this knob yet. I want to show you guys how much the reel has improved with the 2 bearings replaced, and replacing the last one would ultimately change the tension because I have to remove this tension knob. So the comparison will not be apples to apples. So with that said, the length of time is about 14 seconds. It doubled, so it's pretty impressive. Not as long as some other reels that Spool Hi-Speed Bearing have portrayed on their social media platforms, but let's not compare to those, as those are some more expensive reels. So let's replace the last bearing, which is very similar to the first one. Once you remove the tension knob, you will see that the bearing is held in there similar to the first one with a hexagon pin. Carefully remove the pin, bearing, and replace it with the new bearing and resecure it, and you're good to go. After replacing all 3 bearings, I get at about 14 to 16 second spin time. Now that this reel is upgraded with the 3 bearings, let's go outside and give it a few casts.
Alright, this is super windy day and I just upgraded my reel. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back to the same setting as last time. I did a number 2 here and yeah, number 2 here. So let's see, let's just set this bad boy back up and let's wing it. It's a lot louder. I wouldn't say it casts super duper far, but maybe because I'm a wuss. Alright, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Just want to make sure I get the right. Oh wow, even with the wind I cast pretty far. I almost hit the pads right there. Let me change my brakes again. Wow. Fish on! Yo, that's awesome! First top water frog of the season! And not only that, guys, it's on my new KastKing Spartacus with the upgraded Spool Hi-Speed Bearings. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Bass, woohoo! All right, this is a post-spawn froggy. Ho-ho! Post-spawn bassy is what I meant. Look at that. Let me get some more line. All right. Woo! There we go. All right. Back in you go. Yeah! So guys, the other day I was here when it's not so windy. When I first got the Spartacus, you guys probably seen in the beginning of the video, I made a few casts. And I walked around this bank right here and I was able to cast this same frog right about there. Right around there, maybe a little past a little bit more, and that's about it. So I remember this spot right here. I don't think I caught it in video, but I wanted to hit that little cove all the way at the end, and I was not able to do it. So moment of truth, guys. All right, so I reached there. So I did gain a little bit of distance. Not that much impressive, to be honest, but you know, the wind is here. It's crazy. I put up the brakes. To be honest, it's actually just one notch up higher.
So is this worth it? Let's discuss my observation. Per my test, the gain for the Spartacus were as follows. The spin duration did double, but it is not as impressive as other reels that we have seen on Spool Hi-Speed Bearing social media platforms. By no means that I am saying that these bearings are no good. I think this is just a limitation of the reel itself. Now, the bearings definitely certainly allowed me to increase my maximum casting distance, but it was really difficult for me to gauge with the winds. I have been experiencing some crazy weather here lately, but to describe how much further, it wasn't too much further, to be honest. I achieved approximately 1 to 2 rod length increased distance and potentially more if there were no winds. Maybe I should have done this testing within a football field instead, but a few feet gain isn't much in my books. Perhaps if I have gained 5 to 10 rod length distance, that would have been a lot much better. On the flip side, when casting, I can feel that the lure does come out a lot easier. What this means is that I could use a lot less energy to achieve further casting distance, which will equate to less fatigue as I do not need to wing out the lure like no tomorrow to hit the maximum distance. I would see that this would benefit any tournament anglers who fishes a lot on the water. So was it worth it for me to spend $30 to upgrade this $50 reel? It's really hard to say since the testing conditions lately haven't been really good. I have certainly increased the casting distance and the amount of casting power was dramatically reduced. What I don't really feel for is the cost to upgrade this reel is $27.95 plus shipping for 3 bearings. It's really hard for me to justify whether it is worth it in the short amount of testing that I have done plus the poor weather conditions. So I'll let you guys be the judge. Do you want to spend over $30 to upgrade a $50 reel? I think my Speed Demon actually casts further than this upgraded reel, but then again, the Speed Demon does have a bigger spool, which have a bigger line capacity, which allows you to achieve further casting distance right out of the bat. Perhaps maybe I should upgrade the Speed Demon X? What do you guys say? Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see me do more geeky videos like these, make sure you guys let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe as I will be using this reel a lot more this season. And perhaps I might even do some sort of update video that talks more about this reel and the upgraded bearings. Until then guys, tight lines.